Children, continuing with exercise 3.3, fifth question is, the measure of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are in the ratio 3:2. You have to find the measure of these angles of the parallelogram. Okay, so here it goes. We were given ratio of two adjacent angles as 3:4. So remember, children, whenever ratio is given, we multiply it by some variable. So from here we would say, if the ratio is given as 3:2, the angles can be assumed as 3x and 2x. Then we were told these are adjacent angles. So adjacent angles for a parallelogram are supplementary. So we would say 3x plus 2x is equal to 180. Okay, you can mention out here. Although I've written property because I've mentioned everything out here, because these were the adjacent angles of a parallelogram. Okay, so that becomes 3 plus 2, 5x is equal to 180, or x is equal to 180 upon 5, 36. Now when you know x, you can find the angles as 3 into x was 36, 2 into 36. So the angles are 108 and 72 degrees. Okay, and remember another property of a parallelogram saying that opposite angles are equal. So two of the angles will be 108 each, and the other two will be 72 each. All right, now in the next question you were given that two adjacent angles, sixth question, of parallelogram are equal. यहाँ पे angles की ratio given थी, यहाँ बोला है कि the angles are equal. So if the adjacent angles of a parallelogram are equal, I have assumed those angles as x. We don't know them, so let each angle be x degrees. Okay, again the same properties that we know adjacent angles of parallelogram are supplementary. So x plus x, because both of them were equal, supplementary means their sum should be 180. 2x is 180, or x is equal to 90. Okay, again opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. So if this one angle comes out to be 90, its opposite will be 90. The other adjacent was 90, so its opposite would also be 90. All four angles will come out to be 90 degrees each. Right? Okay. Then the seventh question, this figure is given to you. Okay, you can observe from your books. This figure was given to you, and these x, y, z were unknowns. This angle outside is mentioned as 70. This angle is given as 40. So what I've done is I've first taken out this angle here. Okay, this was not known. I have taken it out because these two form a linear pair. That's a straight line. Okay, so I've written angle HOP, HOP. This angle and angle POX. These two angles, their sum would be 180. Either write straight line or you can write linear pair. Reason you have to write. Okay, so HOP plus one of the angle known as 70. The other HOP would come out to be 70 taken to the other side, 180 minus 70. So this angle has come out to be 110 degrees. Now, this was a parallelogram. So opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. So that helped me find my x. Angle PEH, that is x which I have to evaluate, should be equal to angle POH, opposite angles of parallelogram. So x has also come out to be 110 degrees. Right? Next is, this angle was already given to you, and y you had to find. So angle OPH is your y, will be equal to angle EHP. Reason would be alternate angles. These two lines will be parallel, so these are alternate angles. So y has come out to be 40 degrees straight away. Now we know the measure, this 110 taken out, this y 40 worked out. You're left with unknown z, that is, this is a triangle in which you do not know the third angle. Okay, there are other ways also. See, you could have done this as 40 plus z is equal to 70, corresponding angles. So you can apply other theorems or properties also, but whatever property you are applying for doing the calculation, you have to mention that property. Okay, I have used triangle property, so I would say in triangle HOP, y plus z plus 110 will be 180 by angle sum property. So y we knew was 40. This we had worked out as 110. So z comes out to be 40 plus 110 becomes 150. Taken to the other side becomes minus 150. So 180 minus 150 is equal to 30. So measure of z also we have got. Okay. Now in the last question, figures you will refer from the question here. Okay. Okay, so here if you see, these are the figures here, children. Okay, the following figures are parallelogram. These two parallelograms are shown to you, in which you have to find the x and y's. Okay, find x and y. Alright, so I have not made the figure here in the solution, but you will make the figure, of course. Okay, because without figure, the geometry solutions are meaningless. Okay, so make the figure. I have just written the solution for you all. You'll write GS is equal to UN, because these are opposite sides of parallelogram. Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. Okay, so GS was given to you as 3x. UN is given as 18. So from here, x is 18 upon 3, 6. The other opposite pair was GU will be equal to SN. The reason will be the same. Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. GU given to you as 3y minus 1 should be equated to 26. That was your SN. So taking 1 to the other side, 26 plus 1, 27. 3y is equal to 27. So y is equal to 27 upon 3. That is y is equal to 9. Okay. Now for the second part of the same question here. Okay, this was the first one that I've just discussed with you. This is equal to this is equal to this. Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. Now in this C, this is another parallelogram, and in this, they are talking about the diagonals. Okay, this time they are talking about the diagonals. So we know diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. So means this length will be equal to this length. Likewise, this length will be equal to this length. Okay, for convenience, if you want, you can write that in between point, intersection point as O. So you can say SO is equal to OU, NO is equal to OR. Okay, anyways, I have done the solution here directly and quoted the property. So since diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other, so one length given to me as x plus y should be equal to the other length 16. Likewise, y plus 7 should be equal to 20. So from here, from this equation, I can take 7 to the other side. So y will come as 20 minus 7, 13. We'll put that value of y in the first equation. Now putting y in equation 1, it was x plus y humne nikal liya is 13 should be equal to 16. Right? So taking 13 to the other side, x is equal to 16 minus 13, 3. Right? So do these many questions for today. I don't want to pile up your work and you knowing nothing, just keep on copying. That is not okay. Try to understand the questions. If you wish, you can try the following questions if you have time. Otherwise, I will discuss the remaining questions tomorrow.